Welcome to Curious Goldfish, a podcast community where music and curiosity come together through interesting conversations with the music makers of our world. I'm your host, Jason English. You can find Curious Goldfish in all the major podcast and social media platforms. And of course, we have all of our content on our website, curiousgoldfish.com. Rissa, so nice to meet you.
Thank you. It's so nice to meet you too.
Tell me something good about your day.
Oh my gosh. Well, I've had 2 photo shoots today. I've written 2 amazing songs, and now I'm doing a podcast with you. So I think it's been a pretty productive day.
That's a good Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a great Tuesday.
Gosh.
I'm very happy.
All right. So we're in Nashville at the Ari Retreat, I think it's called, right?
Yeah.
With a bunch of songwriters and producers and musicians. How'd you get involved with this?
You know, I've known Matthew Tuck for about maybe a little over 7 months now, Matthew Tuck and Mariah. And ever since meeting them, we just totally vibed, and they saw the vision of what I do and wanted to support. And so they invited me here, and I'm just so grateful to be here because I've met so many like-minded, talented artists and creatives. And this is literally something I've been dreaming about doing. So I'm so happy.
Have you ever done anything like this?
No, actually I haven't.
Okay.
So I've been to a couple of different retreats and different collaborative, organized things, but nothing like this to where it's really based off of who you resonate with. And it's just a bunch of people wanting to create together and just seeing what happens instead of being like super rigid or like super strict. It's more just like free creative potential. Okay. And that's what I really appreciate about this particular experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, Nashville's a crazy spot because you have the country history and everything, but I've heard that there's a big R&B influence now. There's rap culture that's emerged, and bluegrass and everything else. It really is like a melting pot.
Yeah, and this is my first time in Nashville.
Oh,
and so
wow,
I've heard so many things about how it's a music hub, and I obviously know the history of it in a lot of realms. But to feel the energy and to be doing this the first time I come to Nashville is really special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
good.
just a part of it. Feels like I'm really a part of a big energy of music here, and it just feels like I'm getting charged up by all that. Like wow, like I could really feel it.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how'd you get into music?
So I've been singing since I was little. I really don't even know what inspired it. It just came out of me. Like 4 years old, I had a pretend microphone and like socks on, sliding through the floor, trying to get my family to watch me sing, and even when I was like 12, I remember, sleepovers with my friends, and I would have everybody be my backup dancers and like sing,
Nice.
and I'd be like, we're going to do a tour,
Yeah.
So it's just always been a dream, and I always pursued it. I just always knew that I was meant to sing.
Okay. Who are some of your influences?
Mariah, Carey,
Okay.
Whitney Houston, Anita Baker, Erykah Badu, the classics who are so powerful, like powerful female vocalists who are unique and strong in who they are. Yeah,
All right.
for sure.
All right. So tell us about your project Trap Alchemist. When did that come out, and what's the context of that?
Yeah, so that just came out on August 8th, 2024, and it's doing great.
Okay.
And this was funny because I actually am mainly like a soul singer, like R&B, hip hop vibe, a little bit of pop influence, right? And all of a sudden, maybe like a year and a half ago, I found myself around like all my rapper friends, and I started rapping, and it like just came out. Like I was writing. Usually when I hear a beat, I'm hearing melodies. And this time I was hearing like a rap verse, and I was like, what is this? Am I writing for one of my friends? And I rapped it, and I was like, this is dope. Like, I think I'm supposed to rap. I guess I'm rapping now. And I just kept doing it. And all my friends who are amazing in that realm wanted to be a part of it. And it just became its own entity. And now Trap Alchemist is this opportunity and invitation for people to still love and appreciate trap music without feeling like they have to be married to toxic messages or lyrics that don't feel good singing out loud. So it's still got the heavy 808s and the hi-hats, and it still has the twerk potential and all of that hype, without making you feel like you're promoting something that you don't believe in.
Okay.
You know, so I'm really proud of it. I'm really, really proud of it.
How many songs?
11 songs.
11 songs.
And
okay.
we're also going to be doing a deluxe soon because there's so many songs
Oh, wow.
that I wanted to break it up. I was like, let me get these ones out. And then these other ones are so hype in their own way. We're going to do a deluxe. So
all right.
yeah, it's going to be really
So
fun.
do you write all the lyrics?
Yeah, I write
you?
everything.
Yeah.
This is actually my first like full collaborative album. So
Okay.
I collaborated with producers Chris and Teeb, who are amazing trap formation artists. That's what we call it. It's like trap music, but affirmation music. And they're amazing. And they're like the gods of it in that realm. So they collaborated with me on the album. And we also have a bunch of other amazing featured artists, Mellow Will, Peachka, Illuminati Congo, so many. So
I think you grew up in the North, but now you live in Atlanta.
yeah.
Tell me, does the Atlanta music scene, like, obviously that's a thing. How much has that influenced you in like with the connections and any of the relationships that you have?
That's such a great question. So I didn't realize that I was even going to come to Atlanta. I'm very spiritually based. I'm very conscious. So I really focus on the energy and what I feel like my higher power, my higher self is navigating me towards. And I'll just feel called to something, a project, a collaboration, a place, and I'll just go. I'll just trust that the universe has a way. God has a way. You know what I mean? And so that was kind of what it was for Atlanta. I started getting a bunch of opportunities in Atlanta for my music, and I was kind of shocked that it was happening so frequently. And it got me to trust and take a leap of faith and just kind of, I came here for like, I was like, let me give it 6 months and see what happens. And then, I mean, there's been so much and it hasn't stopped. So now I'm like, well, I'm here now, you know, because the snowball is huge now. So being able to release and finish up a trap album, Trap Alchemist, in the trap capital of the world was not even something I planned on, but was exactly what was necessary to get the last bit of the album all the way dialed in. Just being in that energy, being in the culture, just feeling that was exactly what Trap Alchemist needed.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So I grew up in the Midwest and then lived in...
Oh, yeah, I was born in Michigan.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. You're a good person. I knew you were a good person.
Right. Midwesters. Yeah, we're good. We're great people always. Always.
Not passive aggressive.
No, I really think Midwest people are maybe like the best people on the planet.
Agree.
I'm not going to lie.
I agree.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I mean, Southern people are great too.
Yeah, they're probably the second best because I feel
yes.
very in alignment with Southern people. Yeah, for sure. It's funny.
Well, no, so I grew up in the Midwest and then lived in Colorado for 20 years.
Nice.
Right? I moved to Atlanta to kind of start a fresh chapter, right? So raised the kids, got divorced, and Atlanta, I could have lived anywhere, thankfully, because of the job I have.
Yeah.
And it's not this. This is just a passion project.
Love that.
But I'm so happy in Atlanta. It's so underestimated.
It really is.
Georgia in general is underestimated.
Why do you love Atlanta? Tell me a little bit.
I mean,
curious.
literally, the Southern hospitality is a real thing.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter to me, like your background, whether you're black, white, whatever. Like everybody has the Southern hospitality.
Everybody is kind.
Yeah,
yeah,
and,
for sure.
The food's great, music scene's great.
Yes,
and I love the fact that you can get into the mountains if you wanted to get away. You can get to the beach.
The nature.
Yeah,
you have everything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, all the same reasons why I love Atlanta. I always ask people that have been here longer than me or there longer than me, why do you love Atlanta? Because it helps me realize that I made the right move.
Yeah,
because I'm just like, I still can't believe it sometimes that I'm here. I'm like, I'm in Atlanta. Why are we here? Oh yeah. Okay, cool.
All right. So for the spiritual connectedness that you have, when did you realize you had that? How has that translated into your music?
Yeah. So ever since I was really little, probably like 5 or 6, 7, I started realizing that I could see energy. I could see and feel people's emotions or their energy. I sometimes would see my passed on loved ones would like come to my bedside after they passed. And it was really scary. Like I would see angels and stuff. And I would always tell my mom like about it. And she would say, go pray about it, you know? And then I'd pray about it and the angels would talk to me more. It was like, I opened up the conversation, you know, and I'm like, I don't think that's working. So I got freaked out. But I was really, really young, and I got so scared at one point that I I just literally like wished it away, prayed it away, whatever, hid under my blankets until it finally went away. I saw a bunch of angels and then they finally went away. And so after that, I just kind of ignored it and did everything I could to pretend like it wasn't there, which eventually snowballed into like addiction and substance abuse and opiates and things like that. And I was battling some other traumas, you know, family stuff. But that was really my spiritual journey, because being able to have those gifts at a young age and not understand them and be afraid and then kind of turn them off and run away from them, deny that part of myself that was unique, only to hit rock bottom with addiction and find myself having this out of body experience where I was like, this is not the life that I know I'm meant to live. I know I'm meant to be a singer. I know I'm meant to do music. I know I'm meant to be a, you know, influential person in my life, in my family's life in a positive way. And then I got clean and all the gifts came back online, which was also its own thing, because it was like I had anxiety, it was overwhelming. And at that point I had to learn, like, what is this? What is spirituality? What is this other world that I keep tapping into and keep feeling? And why can I feel it more than other people? And what am I supposed to do with that? And that journey of asking questions led me to where I am now. You know, I get to teach this kind of thing to people. I get to counsel people through it. I have a degree in psychology as well. And I get to sing music about that journey and help people realize that they're not alone. Because a lot of people have this gift. I mean, everybody has intuition. It's our most innate survival skill. So it's really the denial of intuition that most people suffer from. And it causes you to not trust yourself, not follow your true path, and not believe in your purpose and your potential. And so now I get to help people do that through music and all the other things I do. Okay. Yeah. So that was my long answer for a very long experience.
No, it's all good. When you were in the dumps, you know, high and addicted, did that impact your ability to connect spiritually?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that subconsciously I was doing that to subdue my gifts because I didn't understand them, and because I was so emotionally sensitive because of my gifts that all of the things I was battling was just too overwhelming to face. And so the drugs and specifically the opiates being painkillers, like I was trying to kill the pain within my soul of feeling lost and confused about who I was and why. And yeah, that eventually led to a lot of questions, but a lot of answers too, you know? Yeah.
So what was your rock bottom?
I got arrested. I got tased actually.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was a thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's funny because I mean, now it's like full circle. I wrote a trap album, you know, so it's like, and I was trapping for real. Like I was really out there. And so it's interesting because people who meet me now, I'm like, you know, they're like, I could never picture that you being that, like, you're such a bubbly fairy person. And I'm like, yeah. And I still was myself back then, but I was also a very different version of myself too. And so, yeah, that was my rock bottom. Arrested. I checked myself into a detox. I actually had a seizure in detox because I had been trying to get off the opiates myself and I wasn't successful. And when I finally went into detox, they were like, yeah, you would have died if you would have actually not used by yourself because your body was too depleted. So I had a seizure. I was in a wheelchair while they were trying to get me back to health. So it was scary. Lost a lot of friends too. So I'm really grateful I made it out.
Yeah. Good for you. I mean, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
Bubbly. It's, you know, like you can see the glow in your face.
Yeah. Thank you.
I can't imagine you being in the rock bottom, you know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I mean, I couldn't imagine it either. Like that was my out of body experience, was like, oh my gosh, this is not me, you know? Like I knew I was a vibrant spirit, but I had buried myself in all this other stuff to keep myself from facing what was really at the core of what was in the way of who I was, you know? And so sometimes we do have to, you know, I always tell my clients and my audience, like, it has to come up to come out, So we can't keep burying things, like piling things on top, because if we keep doing that, then what is really at the root of our disturbance can't come out. And we still got to unpack that eventually. So if we can just make sure that we're always letting ourselves like express and not hide, then that's what's going to keep us healthiest. You know what I mean? Like how often are we expressing versus hiding? That's huge.
Okay.
You know?
Do fans come up to you that know the history and hear the music? Have you heard of stories and, you know?
Yeah,
like
all the
just,
time. Yeah, actually, I get booked a lot for sober festivals and sober events, sober houses. I perform for them.
Oh wow. Okay.
And those communities, people who are literally fresh off of their addiction journey and are really, really trying and doing the work to stay clean.
Yeah.
And I get to support them, and that's like the biggest honor I could ever ask for, you know, because I remember being down and out on drugs and being like, if I can get through this, if I can figure out how to overcome this battle, I will be able to help other people do the same.
Yeah, that's great.
And that in itself kept me going and kept me from giving up, you know? So now that I get to do that, I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's been 14 years clean off opiates. So yeah, it's a really rewarding journey. Yeah.
That's good for you. So at this stage, where are you as an artist and where do you want to be?
Yeah. So right now I'm really grateful. I'm at the like festival level is what I call it. Like I've performed a couple of big festivals. I've got a couple more coming up, and I've performed a few different festivals in California and things like that. So I'm at that level. I'm starting to get into sync, you know, placements and getting my songs on TV shows, movies, etc. And I really want to tour. Like that's where I want to go next, is like an international tour, a opportunity to also be on the biggest stages, like the bigger festivals, Coachella, you know, Live Fest, just all the big ones, Afro Nation, like all these really great opportunities to be on even bigger stages and work with even bigger artists. But I'm happy. Like I just want to make a living off of music in a way that feels true and wholesome to my mission of helping people first, and giving the world music that feels good to sing, feels good to manifest, because what we speak and what we sing manifests our reality. So I want to create music that is helping the world manifest a better reality, not taking away from it. So as long as I'm doing that, I'm happy.
All right. That's a good answer.
Thank you.
Right, that's good. What are you most curious about?
Ooh, I am most curious about right now this like AI algorithm world, because I am probably older than you all would think I am. You know, black don't crack. So like social media and algorithm and marketing and strategy and all that, and AI doing all these things that to me seem kind of strange. Like it kind of bothers me that people can write a song with AI. I like don't love that at all. Or like a poem, or like I don't love that. So I've maybe I'm a little old school in my thinking, but I'm really curious about where the world is going to go with that, especially in the creative space and artistic space, because, you know, you see AI generating paintings and music videos, and I'm from an era where we didn't have that. And I know that wasn't too far ago, but it's like, we never even fathomed that. Like we were so proud, and we are so proud of what we can create with our own hands and with our own eyes and with our physical bodies. So having AI kind of be involved in like doing all the things that we do. I'm curious, you know, I'm not judgmental. I'm not I'm assumptive, but I am super curious about what music and art will look like in the AI world as it continues to develop, you know?
Yeah. No, that's good too. I think for me, from the creative standpoint, I hope it doesn't bleed into this space where it takes the place of someone.
I could never imagine.
With a genuine story and a genuine sort of story to tell. I actually think the AI stuff can help artists be smarter with their time,
and that's what I want to learn. That's what I'm really curious about, how to apply. Like that's what, like the strategy and social media and all that stuff. Like I'm not there yet, but I'm really excited to get there with how I can use it to support me. Yeah,
that's good. Did you hear the big news that there's going to be a season 4 of Ted Lasso?
I did not know, but I'm so glad
Yes.
you told me that.
It's like this week out of the blue.
Wait, it's coming up soon?
Well, no, like they announced it this week.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it's a
That's
big-
wild because it seems like it was over. Like it really,
I know.
they did a good
Yeah.
job like sealing it up. So I love that you mentioned Ted Lasso because I have this strange obsession with that show. And it was shown to me by a friend, and then they watched it with me because they were so excited to watch it again. And then I watched the whole series like 2 more times on my own because it's so good. And I put like 3 other people onto it. And then I realized one of my producers actually is like Ted Lasso. Like he's actually he's like a kid's like football coach, like flag football, but he like looks kind of like him and talks kind of like, and I'm just like, dude, have you always been Ted Lasso, or am I just seeing it in you because I've watched the show so many times? It's such a good show.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh my gosh. What's the Stern guy?
Roy Kent.
Roy. Yeah, Roy. Fucking Roy. I love Roy. Oh my God. I love him.
Yeah.
Everything about him, his like hard shell, but his softness inside and like the way he is with his niece and like, dude. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Roy's my fave. Who's your fave?
Well, I mean, Coach Lasso.
Yeah. Okay. Of course. Yeah.
So I grew up in Missouri, in the Midwest.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so, he was in Kansas, but close enough, like outside of Kansas City.
Yeah.
And so I appreciated the fact that like he embodied the Midwestern spirit so well. But like
even to the lines, like the taglines and things like.
I love that. and then just like
because we do have that in the Midwest, just some random
exactly.
sayings like what?
Yeah, no, exactly. And but in like he's so genuine.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like I think I'm so glad they showed the flip side, which is like the panic attacks and his whole struggle with the therapy
and his wife
and the ex-wife. And so like I'm actually really, because like everybody goes through shit. Midwesterners don't like to show it.
No.
Right.
No.
So anyway, true. So this thing I'm doing is inspired by that show, and the fact that they're coming out with a new season, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's crazy.
And I'm so glad you told me because I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, I love it. Yeah. The show, I mean, it's written so well, and like I think that it's the hero's journey, and it's also like a journey of like questioning, how we live life, right? And like what's most important. Are we really present with the people in our life, or are we just trying to get to a goal or be in the rat race or play the power game? Right. And he just disarms everyone because he's just not like that, and he just makes them completely humble themselves, and it's just dope. I love things like that. Because that's the story that we keep needing to tell. Yeah.
Awesome. So last question, I guess, for those out there that are new to Rissa Vibes.
Yeah.
What's the what do you want them to take away from your music and from like your whole thing?
The biggest thing is to honor their authenticity. Honor your gifts. Don't give up on what makes you unique, and don't hide that away. Be that, lean into that, and also know that if things are not going the way that you wanted, it's likely there to show you things that you need to know about yourself to get where you want to go. And by embracing your struggles, you end up stepping into your highest success if you can allow yourself to use it for that, So just keep pushing.
All right.
Keep vibing, be multidimensional, be expressive, be fun, have fun with it, twerk with it, whatever you want to do. Just be you.
All right. Rissa, it's so nice to meet you.
You too.
Yes.
This has been so
I wish
great.
you the best, and maybe in Atlanta we can go see a festival or something.
For sure. I would love that. We will definitely stay connected.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you.
Aww.